ACE. Quantitative sense. For GMAT, GRE, SAT, ACT, and CAT. ACE percentage tips and techniques.
After spending 87.5% of my income, I save $1,500. How much is my income? The direct answer is $12,000. How did I get the answer so fast? For this shortcut technique, please watch this explanation. Explanation. 87.5% is equal to 7/8. 100% equals 1. 1 minus 7/8 equals 1/8. Thus, I spend 7/8 of my income and save 1/8 of it. 1/8 equals 1500. 1 equals 1500 multiplied by 8 equals 12,000. Thus, my income is $12,000. For many percentage fraction techniques, please watch this complete lesson.
Percentages. Percentage simply means per hundred. 50% means 50 per hundred. A percentage can also refer to a fraction. For example, 50% can be written as 50 upon 100. Or half, which is a fraction. Fractions, decimals, and percentages. Percentages can be converted to fractions because percentage simply means per hundred. They can also be converted very easily to decimals, which can be useful when using a calculator. Fractions and decimals can also be converted back to percentages. 25% equals 25 upon 100, which is a fraction. Which equals 1/4. Which equals 0.25, which is a decimal. %40 equals 40 upon 100, which is a fraction. Which equals to 2/5. Equals 0.4, which is a decimal. 25% equals 25 upon 100, which is a fraction. Equals 1/4. Which equals 0.25, which is a decimal. Fractions and decimals can also be converted back to percentages. To convert fractions and decimals back to percentages, you need to just multiply them by 100. Now, let us convert the fractions, 2/5 and half, back to percentages. 2 upon 5 multiplied by 100, which equals 40%. Half multiplied by 100, which equals 50%. Now, let us convert the decimals, 0.4 and 0.25, back to percentages. To convert the decimal, 0.4, back to percentage, we need to multiply it by 100. 0.4 multiplied by 100 is equal to 40%. Similarly, 0.25 multiplied by 100 is equal to 25%. %12.5% is equal to 1/8. How do we get this fraction? To convert this percentage into a fraction, we need to convert the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. Follow these steps now. Multiply the whole number by the denominator. 12 multiplied by 2 equals 24. Add the product to the numerator. Equals 24 plus 1 equals 25. It is the new numerator. Now, multiply the improper fraction that is 25 upon 2, by 1 by 100. You get 1/8. Equals 0.125. The fraction forms of percentages are beneficial in fast calculations and solutions of many word problems in GMAT, GRE, SAT, and other tests. Look at the example. In a class, 20% of the students can speak 3 languages and the remaining 52 students can speak only 1 language. What is the number of students who can speak 3 languages? Solution. 20% of the students can speak 3 languages. 20% is equal to 1/5. And the remaining 80% can speak only 1 language. 80% is equal to 4/5. Since the total strength of the class is 100%, 80%, or 4/5 of the students, is equal to 52 students who can speak only 1 language. 4/5 are equal to 52. The total number of students is equal to 52 multiplied by 5 upon 4, which is equal to 65. 20%, or 1/5 of the students can speak 3 languages. 65 multiplied by 1/5 is equal to 13. Alternatively, you could divide 52 by 4. Since 1/5 is 1/4 of 4/5. Thus, 13 students could speak 3 languages. Percentage increase and decrease. Percentage increases are calculated using the following formula. Percentage increase is equal to actual increase upon the original value multiplied by 100. Similarly, the percentage decreases are calculated using percentage decrease is equal to actual decrease upon the original value multiplied by 100. Sample question 1. The monthly salary of Anne has been raised from $4,800 to $5,200. What percent has Anne got a raise in her salary? Solution. The difference in the two salaries is 400. 5,200 minus 4,800. Percentage increase is equal to actual increase upon the original value multiplied by 100. That is 400 upon 4,800 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 8 1/3%. Thus, Anne got a raise of 8 1/3% in her salary. Fraction method. You could save time to solve this problem by using the fraction method. Solution. The difference in the two salaries is 400. 5,200 minus 4,800. This increase is on the base or original value. That is 4,800. Percentage increase is equal to 400 upon 4800, which gives the fraction. That is 1/12. The percentage value of the fraction, 1/12, is equal to 8 1/3%. Thus, Anne got a raise of 8 1/3% in her salary. To apply this direct technique, you must learn and remember the following percentage fraction list. %50 can be expressed as a fraction, 1/2, and as decimal, 0.5. 75% can be expressed as a fraction, 3/4, and as decimal, 0.75. 25% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/4, and as decimal, 0.25. 20% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/5, and as decimal, 0.2. 40% can be expressed as a fraction, 2/5, and as decimal, 0.4. 87.5% can be expressed as a fraction, 7/8, and as decimal, 0.875. 62.5% can be expressed as a fraction, 5/8, and as decimal, 0.625. 37.5% can be expressed as a fraction, 3/8, and as decimal, 0.375. 12% and 1/2% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/8, and as decimal, 0.125. 66 and 2/3% can be expressed as a fraction, 2/3, and as a decimal, 0.666. 60% can be expressed as a fraction, 3/5, and as decimal, 0.6. 80% can be expressed as a fraction, 4/5, and as decimal, 0.8. 90% can be expressed as a fraction, 9/10, and as decimal, 0.9. 33 1/3% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/3, and as decimal, 0.333. 9 and 1/11% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/11, and as decimal, 0.0909. 11 and 1/9% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/9, and as decimal, 0.111. 14 and 2/7% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/7, and as decimal, 0.142. 8 and 1/3% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/12, and as decimal, 0.833. 11 and 1/9% can be expressed as a fraction, 1/9, and as decimal, 0.111. 7 and 1/7 can be expressed as a fraction, 1 by 14, and as decimal 0.071. 8% can be expressed as a fraction 2 by 25, and as decimal 0.875. 4% can be expressed as a fraction 1 by 25, and as decimal 0.04. 2% can be expressed as a fraction 1 by 50, and as decimal 0.02. 1% can be expressed as a fraction 1 by 100, and as decimal 0.01. Nine and 1 by 11% can be expressed as a fraction 1 by 11. 100% can be expressed as a whole number 1. 200% can be expressed as a whole number 2. 300% can be expressed as a whole number 3. 13 and 1 by 3% can be expressed as a fraction 2 by 15, and as decimal 0.133. 150% can be expressed as a fraction 3 by 2, and as decimal 1.5. 133 and 1 by 3% can be expressed as a fraction 4 by 3, and as decimal 1.333. 125% can be expressed as a fraction 5 by 4, and as decimal 1.25. Application of fraction forms of percentage. John's monthly income is $3,600. He pays 25% of his income for state and federal taxes. He spends 11 and 1/9% of his remaining income on rent and food. He pays 8 and 1/3% of the rest on transport and spends 50% of his remaining income on miscellaneous items. If he saves the remaining income, how much does he save a month? Solution. John's monthly income is $3,600. Expenditures. Amount. Remaining. 1. State and federal taxes equals 25%. It means he spends 25 by 100 multiplied by 3,600. That is 900 on state and federal taxes. The balance is 3,600 minus 900, that is 2,700. 2. Rent and food equals 11 and 1/9% of his remaining. That is 100 by 9 multiplied by 1/100th multiplied by 2,700, that is 300. 2,700 minus 300 equals 2,400 is the remaining. 3. Transport equals 8 and 1/3% of the rest. 25 by 3 multiplied by 1/100th multiplied by 2,400, that is 200. 2,400 minus 200 equals 2,200. 4. Miscellaneous items equals 50%. 50 by 100 multiplied by 2,200 equals 1,100. 2,200 minus 1,100, that is 1,100. Thus, he saves $1,100 a month. Now let us apply the fraction method to solve this sum. I read the question again. John's monthly income is $3,600. He pays 25% of his income for state and federal taxes. He spends 11 1/9% of his remaining income on rent and food. He pays 8 1/3% of the rest on transport and spends 50% of his remaining income on miscellaneous items. If he saves the remaining income, how much does he save a month? Solution. John's monthly income equals 3,600. Expenses. Percentage. Fraction. Balance. Balance income. 1. State and federal taxes equals 25%, or 1/4 of his income. After spending 1/4 of his income, John has 75% or 3/4 of his income, which is equal to 3,600 multiplied by 3/4. 2. Rent and food equals 11 1/9% or 1/9 of the remaining income. It means after spending 1/9 of the remaining income, which is 3,600 multiplied by 3/4, John has 8/9 of the rest. That is 3,600 multiplied by 3/4 multiplied by 8/9. 3. Transport equals 8 1/3% or 1/12. After spending 1/12 of the rest of the income on transport, John has 11/12 of the rest. That is 3,600 multiplied by 3/4 multiplied by 8/9 multiplied by 11/12. 4. Miscellaneous items equals 50%, or half. After spending 50%, or half of the rest of the income on miscellaneous items, John has 50% or half of the rest. That is 3,600 multiplied by 3/4 multiplied by 8/9 multiplied by 11/12 multiplied by half, which is equal to 1,100. Thus, John saves $1,100 a month. Let us solve one more sample. The difference between the value of a number increased by 16 2/3%, and the value of the original number decreased by 20% is 66. What is the number? Solution. Let the number be x. The value of a number increased by 16 and 2 by 3%, or by 1 by 6. The increased value of the number equals x plus x by 6 equals 7x by 6. The value of the number decreased by 20% or by 1 by 5. The decreased value of the number equals x minus x by 5 equals 4x by 5. The difference between the two equals 7x by 6 minus 4x by 5 equals 35x minus 24x by 30 equals 11x by 30. 11x by 30 equals 66. X equals 180. Thus, the number is 180. Now try the following exercises.